Hey, show starts in about 10 minutes, like before. I'm starting early, so, so folks can start rolling on in. And I'll sign off the, the title of the thing. Excuse the green screen back there. A couple projects coming up. I had to redo my green screen. The first green screen wasn't doing right for me. But yeah, so like before, let me play a little music. I actually found this song here by Dua Lipa. Heck, I don't know if that's her name or whatever. IDGAF. I think this should be my next song that I try to use on a little tribute for MS. Actually, I ain't really pay attention to the song until I came across it though. It's pretty cool, man. You call me all friendly, telling me how much you miss me. That's funny. See, that's what MS does, right? She basically talking about what MS does us. You know what I'm saying? Go find a girl who wants to listen. Cause if you think I was born yesterday, you have got me wrong. So I cut you off. I don't need your love. I don't need no MS love, you know what I'm saying? I don't cry enough. I've been moving on since we said goodbye. I cut you off. I need to cut it off. I actually don't feel good right now. I really don't. But the show gotta move on though, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna crash right after this. But I don't care about MS like that. I don't give a IDGA. Welcome guys, we're gonna start around about 7 o'clock. I just wanted to try my best to at least start about 10 minutes early so everybody can get in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I decided, hey, why not play a little uplifting music or something. And I came across this song. If you ain't heard it before, it's IDGAF. And I was listening to it and I was like, man, this reminds me of MS. I don't know. Save it, MS. Shut up. Well, Angelo, I'm alright, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm tired. I don't know. Not one of my best days. Probably after this, I'm gonna just go lay down and crash. Hello, Elizabeth. I'm alright, sweetheart. Guys, I'm pulling up my thing so I can see your post better. So give me 1 second if I missed you. I'm over MS. Y'all need to be over MS too. MS is so overrated. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So say MS ain't sorry. It ain't sorry. Hey Jay, how are you? I'm gonna feel better, trust me. I feel a little better when I talk to you guys sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Welcome everybody. We're gonna be getting started in just a moment here. Probably in a couple minutes. It'll start off at 7, but I see so many lovely people coming in, so yeah. Look, I had to stop my music because Facebook realized that I was playing some music and it said that I couldn't play music. How is that? A little smart little Facebook. See, I told you Facebook be watching me and whatnot. But yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start it, guys. Alright. Here's another episode of Fierce Friday with LaRon and Miss Annette Robinson. Miss Annette, my co-host, is not here today. Actually, she's under the weather, a little bit worse than me. So if you guys can send out the prayers and tag Miss Annette in the comment, in the comments down here, wishing her a graceful recovery, please. I would totally appreciate it. She's gonna be very missed on this episode. She missed last episode as well. So, you know, prayer hands go up for me, please. Yeah, so no dancing on Facebook. I'm listening to the music, and then the next song comes on, and then all of a sudden I turn around and Facebook tells me, do you want to resume? If you resume, we see a music match or something that noticed that copyright infringement type thing. So gosh, Lord, everybody, I don't know. I guess they thought I was using it wrong or whatever. But like I say, this is Fierce Friday. And this is your beloved MS warrior, LaRon, here in the house again, like I was Monday. I know it's a lot of green going on back there. So, excuse me. But yeah. Yeah, I got a green screen up, man. Doing a little projects here. Actually, I'm finna jump on that this weekend. Little movie things going on. Hope you're doing all right, Gary, man. I ain't seen you in a while. You still in Albany, bro? I'm telling you, I'm glad to know that you're back on. I know you wasn't feeling well yourself, so you know, you was always here, so but all right, guys. Connections. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the, I think it was, 6 degrees of separation. I think that's what it is. I don't know if it's 7 or 6. Can anybody tell me? I don't know if you ever heard of it. Let's see. 6 degrees. Yeah, 6 degrees of separation. That we done come across a person that you might know that might know the next person, but might know the next person, and we all connected. And so, you know what I'm saying? So if you looked at my poster that I made, it's 2 hands connecting wires in a hub, right? And the fonts were cables. And so, you know, if you realize and you think about it real hard, that Earth ain't nothing but a hub. And we are the connectivity, and we connect with each other. And so there's going to be some bad connections, right? And if you look into multiple sclerosis, if you look into what sclerosis are the lesions and scars that are on your myelin, that's eating up your myelin and the covering of your nerves, and which it prevents your connectivity to like flow, right? Like if you're telling your hand to move, like how I'm telling my hand to move, you know, I get tremors and what. And oh man, especially with the mouse. So let's say like I got this mouse here, and if I'm doing a project, I can be doing this, and then all of a sudden my finger does this. It just does this all day long. and you have to spank it and stuff sometimes, and it gets on my nerves, to be honest with you, because I'm clicking on stuff that I don't want to click on, and so now I have to go back, and I might have to undo, or I might have just pressed something and I'm like, because it wasn't supposed to send and it sent anyway, so I got to be careful. And it's not only my this finger here, it's other body parts. And don't, you know, I had a section about sex where, dude, if you missed it, you need to go to ICanBeatMS.com and go to services up at top, and then go to, I think it was the MS Monday episode, and go down, I think it was possibly the first season, maybe it could have been the second season, but whatever season it is Sex and MS. Very great episode. But anyway, your nerves, that's how you talk to your body, through your nerves. The connectivity, you know, everything is connected by nerves here. Nerve endings sending everything, you know, function. You know, think of your body as a factory, you know, and all the workers basically is kind of like the 6 degrees here. And so the workers up here have to communicate with the workers up here, which sending other workers send information down. So everybody's connected. So going back to the world. The world is a great circular hub, and we are just millions and thousands and billions and hundreds and humanized wires, basically. And if we were to hold our hands out, if like how I'm holding my hand out right now, and somebody was to grab my hand and they grab somebody else's hand, we're connected. And we actually do that on a daily basis. And just sometimes our connections are off because we're not connected. So like the person across the street, I can't send anything to that person because now we're not connected. So it's going to misfire. You know, I might want to send a urge of energy over to that person, and I can't get to that person because I'm not close enough, or we're not touching. And so you can look at your nerves and your brains in that sense. And it brings me to the reason why I wanted to do an episode about connections is, and this doesn't just falls down with the person with MS. It's just an ordinary person that feels ordinary, normal. Normal is very overrated. But a person that sits and says, I don't have a disease, I'm not sick, so I'm normal. And Tanya, I'm going to get to your comment in just a second. We are so off. We don't realize how we affect each other so much. How the tearing down of the person next to us, especially a loved one, how that affects, how that a domino effect, how it just breaks down, and that stuff just passed down in generation to generation to generation. I don't know if anyone has noticed a track record or of a family that's disruptive to a family that's kind of on stable, flat foundation. Successful in some sort. Now, you know, it might not just be $1 million successful, but in some sort successful, right? And then you have that destructive family that possibly might develop murderers, kidnappers, robbers, and so forth and so forth. And you wonder, how does a person think that way? How does a person end up being so nasty in that sense? Because we have a lot of hateful people in this world. Okay. Now, you used to think that how can a person be born that way? I would want to say years and years and years and years and years and years and years. I'm talking about some thousands of years ago. You might can sit and say, you can probably challenge that, but now it's more of a that's possible because stuff is embedded so early now. You know how women can be pregnant and read the encyclopedia to their child, and majority of the time, some of the kids that are read to while they are in the womb, they come out smart as hell. Smart. I've seen it. I got a cousin like that. I swear for God, he's like the next Einstein. Very intelligent. Sometimes I wish that I hope my mom don't hear me, that she would have read the encyclopedia to me while I was in her room. Man, tell me. Look at me now. I would have been awesome, right? But anyway, so I think it's more or less embedded now. The genetics are so off tuned in what it was before because we're tampering with foods. We're tampering with what people hear, subliminal messages. I don't know if you guys believe in that. What's the word? I'm a conspiracy theorist. Some of this stuff, you can't help but believe it's true, right? But subliminal messages are actually really played in shows and music and stuff. So imagine what we're subliminally saying to our child when a child is in the womb and is subjected to very violent parents. You have actually some babies that are coming out, and I've come up with researching that babies are being born with MS. And so how can a child be born with MS if a child hasn't walked the earth, hasn't been through any type of stress? Where did that come from? It had to come from the parent. It had to come from mom. Mom was stressful in some type of way, whether it was health, physical, or mentally. And the connection, we are so off tune with connecting with each other that this is a great example where me personally, I pride myself with complimenting anybody, whether it's a child or a teenager, preteen, a young adult, an elderly person. Find something. I'm pretty sure everybody thinks somebody's ugly out there because I don't think I'm the handsome. You know, you guys don't even start. You guys call me handsome, but sometimes I look in the mirror, and because of my childhood experience of me trying to talk to the beautiful women that I thought were in high school here in Albany and just turned me away, like, hey, there's something wrong with you. I fit in that category as being not worth looking at, in a sense. Boyfriend, you want me? Your boy, my boyfriend, whatever. So, right. So you got somebody that you think doesn't look good, right? That doesn't mean that you have to sit and not say anything polite to them or say anything worth lifting them up. And every day, whether I'm working or not, if I come across somebody, I'm looking for something. I'm in tune with my senses where let me find something, rather even if it's their shoes. I love your shoes. I love your outfit. Oh my God, you're gorgeous today. And it's not a lie because I actually think you're gorgeous or I like your shoes. If I don't think you look good, but I like your shirt, it's a true statement. But still, even with that being said, do you know how that lifts someone's confidence? And guys, I am going back in the comments, I promise, to Missy to respond to what everybody posts. I'm just trying to get this out because I can definitely get real sidetracked. And probably about in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna pause for a brief moment and go to the comments. But the confidence level of a person, that connection that you make with that person. All right, like say I'm looking at myself. I got this shirt on, even though it's blending in with this bright ass, this green black, this green screen back here, and hey, I like your shirt. You don't look bad yourself, in the shirt. And so where you get it from? That starts a combination. I mean, a connection, conversation. Yeah, you might not want to talk to that person for very long, but you can easily cut it off without being rude. But that's the fact that this person might be walking around today and they just needed some type of interaction with another person versus looking at their phone on their Instagram feed. And give me thumbs up if you're an MS warrior, if basically this is your problem because you're in the house almost 24/7 a day and you don't get that interaction with an actual physical person. And I just caught that, Elizabeth. Yes, I am fully equipped for St. Patrick's Day, but I'm not seeing no thumbs up, so I'm guessing everybody's fine, right? You don't even have to have MS, but the fact that being in the house 24/7, yeah, you might be a loner, you might not like people, but that still don't mean that you don't desire interaction with somebody. It can be a partner, it can be a spouse, it can be a friend, it can just be a roommate that's in the house. The fact that we all deserve and do need to talk to another human being. So that connection is so important in our life. And we fail to make that important. This is not even taught in school. This is something that should be a book design and should be a lesson. How to connect with someone, how to talk to the next person beside you versus sitting up and making them feel bad because, okay, I got a pair of Jordans on and you got a pair of Walmart shoes. And do you know how funny that is with people? Now, the person with the Walmart shoes might be coming, they might come from a family that don't have the finances to spend $120 on a pair of shoes and still be okay with it. And guys, that doesn't mean just because I haven't commented on the comments, that doesn't mean that you guys can't interact with each other. And hello, Miss Andrews, I'm doing fine. You need to change your last name, lady. Oh, well, I don't know how you feel about that, but so that's our problem in the world. We look down on people, and that is a major problem with us MS warriors. We have a tendency to look down on another MS warrior because, hey, they might just be fresh in the crop. Just because they got diagnosed yesterday doesn't mean that they didn't have the symptoms about 6 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even 30 years ago. So, or not even that, don't start the conversation of how someone is feeling. We have so many groups out there where the rules and the comments are so strategic that a person says something and somebody defends themselves and they might get punished and they get taken off the group or post be ripped up out of the group. And how you going to feel comfortable about that? And you're so right, Paul. You hate for a person to ask how you're feeling, because when you express yourself, then they either don't want to feel it or they sit and they counter it with, I'm actually feeling worse. For myself, and I'm not holding anybody else to this, but hello, Missy. On the other hand, all day I'm asking someone, how are you feeling? Possibly because I just might be able to help. And then I might be able to say something that just might lift your spirit to a point to where you might not feel like that anymore. And you know, if you took the time to connect with someone like that, to make a change, you know, the world just might be a better place. And that doesn't just lie with somebody that sits and thinks they're normal. That also lies with the person that has MS. And that's why in my little group, I changed the name to MS Partners, because we need to start partnering up, whether it's with 2 people, with 4, with 8, can't count real good, so it doesn't matter. Just to have a little group, you know, and stop being that singular person, and realizing that the more that we connect with each other, the better off we can be, because the world around us, we've all said it, we're guinea pigs. I'm not trying to say there's not any doctors or neurologists out there that are trying to find some type of cure, but then at the same time making a buck off of it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's not possible whatsoever. But how are we helping if we're, and yeah, I know this is easier said than done, right? You know, because I'm sitting here, I'm talking, guys, and I'm going to be honest with you. I was probably, 45 minutes to an hour of posting that I do this Saturday or possibly Sunday, because I just ain't really have it in me. But I just can't allow myself to be beaten constantly. I have to take something back that MS takes from me on a daily basis. And you have to do the same. You know, even if it's just something little. You know, you don't have to just make a big grand move. You don't have to get on Facebook like I do. What I'm doing, I feel this is what God gave. This is what I was born for. This is why I went through what I went through. I feel this is the reason why I was diagnosed. Now, 10 years, no, actually 20 years ago, I was given a message saying that I was going to talk. Thought it had something to do about preaching. So I used to carry a Bible around Westover High School. Any patriots in the house? Whoop, whoop. I used to carry the Bible around high school, thinking that I was going to preach. Had my little suit on, had my tie on. People used to pick on me, to call me Mr. Preacher Man. Then I realized that wasn't me. Hey, Auntie. Hold on. Hey, y'all. Auntie, I'm on live. You got folks coming in your house all loud. But I preaching, man, I was in my mind in the Bible back then. It was like off and on, and I felt like, well, maybe he was wrong for choosing me. He was wrong for choosing me, and that I couldn't even talk back then. the words that I use now on a daily basis, I definitely didn't have them back then. The knowledge that I have now, I definitely didn't have it back then. I think it was more or less that he called and he was telling me to get ready, that I will soon enough be talking to a group of people that I need to talk to. And I realized this truth maybe 2015 when I myself and I went to him and I prayed and I asked to be a vessel. I battle with this on a daily basis. I'm not going to lie to you. I know some things that I say might not come across right or wrong, and whatever I say, it's just my opinion and is my advice. Now, I don't advise you just to completely get my advice and then run with it, and then if it don't work, you sit up and say, well, LaRon told me to do it, now my life all fucked up. No. Because you still decide to go ahead and do it. The thing is, I'm just giving you advice to try. Now, you can either take the whole advice and try. You can get partial, you can take parts of it. It's the bits, the front, the middle, the back, the end. Or you can just not take it at all and just listen. And, this is something that, this connection thing, again, it lies in this connection thing where we're hearing people. And we might take their advice by connecting with them and be like, oh, okay, all right, let me go do this. And then it doesn't work out right. And then we're blaming them. The thing about it is you have to realize that you are a different person. And what they're doing in the way that they're doing might not work with you. Because my sclerosis is frontal lobe, my medulla oblongata, wherever the heck that thing is up in this way. A couple up and down my spines. I got spots just scattered everywhere. That might not be like you, where your whole brain just might be white. So I can sit up here and tell you to think in this way. But with you thinking in that way, it might not connect right. So sitting down and taking advice from somebody, you still need to dissect it. You need to still sit down and say, okay, so if I were to do this, what'll happen? You know yourself more than I do. So all I'm saying is, don't allow MS or the world misconception of MS sit and destroy who you are, not who you were, because we all change. And I'm going to hit that for just a split second. Do we not realize that we change every day? Regardless if you have MS or not, you're not going to be the same person that you were 1 minute ago. Something about you changes. And when we finally realize that we change on a daily basis, don't you know that MS will be almost like an afterthought when it comes to, I can't walk anymore. Because let's say this, what if you didn't have MS? What if you was in a bad car accident? What are you going to blame then? Are you going to blame the driver? What if you were driving and you were in the wrong and you fell asleep and you lost your legs? Who are you going to blame? Yourself? That's what we do. The blame game is so strong in society, and the world plays on that blame game. Let me blame somebody else rather than sitting in and accepting the fact that right now I'm different than who I was. And so let me make do with that. Let me become something. Let me become someone. Let me make a name for myself for who I am now. Do you not know we can be so many testimonies for so many other people that are going through the same thing, but we refuse to sit and realize who we are as of right now. That's where that connection comes in. We can make so many connections with each other if we decide to realize that who we are and how great we are and what we can be. But we refuse to do that. You know, so I'm going to go up here in these comments here. Let's see. Because I think Tanya was the one that hits the all right. Let's see. Tanya states that we have all done that. My hands tremble a lot. And the first thing people want to say is, are you withdrawing from something? It happens to me, she says, and she has, let's see, it happens to me, and I have never, she's never had alcohol and drugs. And so basically what Miss Tanya was saying, that people, and I think this is it happens a lot with us MS warriors, where people look at us if we because vertigo, and you stumble a little bit, and so the first thing somebody wants to sit and say is, are they drunk? And you, no, I'm not drunk. I'm having vertigo. I'm having MS symptoms, and me carrying myself right now. I left my cane, and then you got folks on the side, even family members that might not know what's going on with you, and they be like, well, dang, man, or friends, dude, go behind your back and talk about, man. And I'm just using you, Miss Tanya. Oh, Miss Tanya was drunk last night. I don't know what was wrong with her. She could have kept that at home. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just being mindful enough and asking, hey, are you okay? And listening to what's going on. That's what we do. There's a good judge and there's a bad judge. Judge me all day. I don't mind the judge. You can judge me all day because I know what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. So you can judge me all day long if you want, and don't judge me at all. So when you start realizing again with how people are, that you can't control them, let them judge you. They're going to judge you anyway, regardless if you hear it or not. That judging affects you because you allow it to. So, let's see. Miss Tanya, girl, I ain't no genius. What you talking about? Educated. Woo. I try, and my thing with blessing, if you guys have never heard of 12 Stone, if you're in Atlanta, please go by, plug it in my church, 12 Stone, actually 12stone.com. You can go online too. But there was a series about blessing someone to bless other people. And that's how I've always looked at this, because Tanya, I might be blessing you. You might get a blessing from me where you go out and you talk to someone else just like I'm talking to you. Maybe not like on Facebook, but just like in the public or something. And then you reach them, and then they might be able to go and talk to someone else. And that's that connection, that 6 degrees where it's going. And then it might just even come back around to me after what? Heck, who knows? 2 weeks, 1 month, a year. That same blessing that I sent out, going through all these connections. Once it connects, it comes back. It always does. Not when we want it to, but when we need it to. When it needs to be there, it comes. And that doesn't even matter if you believe in God or not. Heck, if you want to do science to it, it's a science to all of this. So Elizabeth, you tell your husband you're broken. Yeah, you can say that. We are kind of broken in a sense. Sparks not going through correctly. Tanya, you, let's see. I'm just reading what you just said. You know what, Miss Tanya, you talking about you don't give a man a time of the, don't really give him a time of the day because you don't see honesty there. I can say the same thing about women. So it just really depends on who you are. We have some MS warriors where we have that partner that's been there and they're being great. Hence Missy or Miss Diane. There are other warriors out there. My friend David over in the UK. So it really just depends on the person, to be honest with you. And I said something to you, Paul, about hate saying the question. So I'm gonna go past that. And again, guys, my co-host, Miss Annette Robinson. Let me put the name in here so you guys can send out prayers. She's not feeling great. So you guys send out prayers for my co-host. Miss Dawn says her 14-year-old son said, yeah, a flaw. Miss Dawn, we all have flaws. Flaws are like, man, if a lot of us that thought we had our heads on right realize how many flaws we got, then I do believe their confidence level will like plummet. Is that the video that you listened to yesterday, Paul? Is that what you shared? Will Smith. Hey, I used to look like Will Smith when I was young. I don't look like Will Smith now. Unless Will Smith gets fat. Tanya, you know what? You working in a school system where I am actually going to go to my alma mater, well, Westover, I can't say that name right, to see about doing a seminar about it. I just got to get it together. Make sure you guys tag her. Have to do that little @ sign and then say her name, just to make sure it does right. If you guys are friends with her, you might not be friends with her. Ha, girl, I ain't better looking at no Will Smith. Stop. But yeah, so I was no, it's not alcohol, it's water. Not today. Not a cocktail, not today. But like I said, I came across looking at a video. I guess kind of like Paul catching Will Smith, I caught something that said something about the reason for public schools being made was preferably for to create yes men, meaning men and women, that basically abide by rules. Which this is something that you find that we should always abide by rules. Now, I ain't telling nobody to go sit up here and not abide by rules. What I am trying to say is that the structure of schools have changed so much to be so bland and just straight lined, when it used to be like this. College has become overrated because you sit and you go to school for something that you enjoy, possibly, and you can barely get a job. Take art, for instance. You have a lot of art type schools. Me and my MS partner, Jalissa, was talking about the schools up north, and how you got the School of Arts up north and possibly schools of art over in California and stuff. But School of Arts should be everywhere, because a lot of people don't just enjoy doing mathematics, architect, which that can be some type of art, but people enjoy painting. Like how many famous, and quote me if don't quote me if I'm wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong. I love to be proven wrong, because I learn stuff. But how many famous painters do you know that are American? I'm gonna actually research that later on, because I want to know. And I was just thinking about that late last night. You have a lot of famous, we put a lot of money in art, and a lot of that money goes into artists that are like overseas, French, Spanish, and stuff like that, and I'm not saying that they don't have great work, but you don't go to a art showing to go pick up art from Bob with the cowboy hat and the straw in his mouth with the muddy boots. You see this grand photo, this grand painting, and it's selling for $100,000. And you go up and you're stirring your wine and you're sipping it and you're smelling it, and you look and you like that, and you ask, who's the artiste? And they point down, and you got a signature as a horseshoe, and just B.O.B. Bob. Do you really think that person is going to buy that art? I don't think so. That's me personally. I could be wrong, but Paul says the public school system was designed to create factory workers. Exactly. Most artists are famous until they aren't famous until they're dead. And you're exactly, Paul. And I'm going to say something about that walk, Missy. See how we'll be sitting on right here. The show is not going to be too long today. So just to round it off here, do my little rant. Today's episode is about making a connection to make a change. So, you are one person. Are you trying to tell me? And this is a challenge. This is a challenge to anybody that's watching this, whether you're diagnosed with MS or diagnosed with any type of incurable disease or just a disease altogether. Heck, if you just got the flu. Well, maybe not the flu, because if you touch somebody, that means that you're giving somebody else the flu, and that's not a good change. People dying about the flu. That's not great. So let me take that back. Let me recant that. That was kind of disturbing in a sense. So if you got the flu, wait till you get better and then connect with somebody. So all the things before I said something about the flu, you can connect. You can make that connection that just might connect to somebody else and just might bless somebody else. it was so amazing that yesterday, 3 older women, I was able to make their day, just by complimenting something on them. And one woman, she gave me a hug. It was kind of funny. Like, can I please give you a hug? Like, that was the best thing I've heard all day, and I needed that. So I don't know what was going on in her life. I really didn't need to know. It was just the fact that I took the time to sit and have a brief conversation, and in that brief conversation, it was something nice to her. I'm gonna be honest, she could have been bitter. She could have been just hateful. She could have basically been hating the world. But the fact that somebody took the time, a stranger, to sit and say, hey, you know, you can't really do everybody like that. You know, you got to have a good sense. But still, even if that person don't respond like that person did with me, that's the fact that you did it. The world would be such a better place. We would be such better people. Your eye doctor said you needed to see a counselor, Missy? Did the eye doctor worried about how you were acting? There's nothing wrong with a counselor. I've seen a couple for various reasons. Actually, I can be a counselor myself. I was actually going to school for it, but I stopped. And if you notice, a great counselor is a counselor that's been through a whole lot of bull crap. And so it means that they can understand. And that's why I was stating that I wasn't ready when I was 15, 16 to sit up here and ask the Lord to be a vessel. I couldn't be a vessel because I didn't know anything. I was still wet behind the ears. Now, with me coming back 2015 and sitting down and having that long talk and understanding what I've gone through and realizing and looking at Facebook and notating how people are so sad and why, or because we have MS. Yes. But do we have to be sad for the rest of our life? Do we have to die sad? No. Why? Because we can, regardless, we can make a change if we're in a wheelchair, bedridden, stilts, struts, heels, no shoes, wheelchair, motorized wheelchair, automatic wheelchair. It doesn't matter. We can make changes with people, and the thing is, we fail to do it. We don't want to, because sometimes we can get tied up in ourselves. We can be so needy. And how can I go help somebody else if I can't help myself? I was that person. How can I help somebody else if I can't help myself? I actually fell off in 2016. If you guys know me from back then, I took a break, a long break, and it was because I realized, how can I tell somebody to do something when I can't do it myself? Your doctor wants you to de-stress. And Paul, no, because we are responsible for ourselves. It doesn't matter who or what at fault. We're responsible for ourselves. And see, and that's what we don't realize. We feel that everybody else is responsible for us, especially when we do wrong. When we do wrong, it's not us. You know, if we can throw it off on somebody else, we would do that. Matter of fact, if we can forget about it. Do you know that the brain is very powerful? There's no such thing as forgetting anything. You choose to forget. You choose to put it in a door. Not a door. You choose to put it in a room. You choose to put it in the chest. You choose to just throw it away somewhere in your subconscious and think that it's all over with. But guess what? It shows its ugly head later on down the line in a situation where you did not want it to come up. I got my window up, so excuse the loud noise. So we got to start connecting, guys. I'm not asking you guys to come over to ICanBeatMS, MS Partners to get away from your group. I'm asking you guys to come over to express, to be part of the group, to express who your partner is and how you guys are connecting so that other people can do the same thing. And so I'm spreading the word about that. So maybe we can get thousands and thousands or millions of people to join and realize that connecting is better than being alone. Yes, you might be in another state or another city. Heck, another city is even fine too, because you can still drive to connect to each other. Heck, even if it was to the point to where you might be able to, if you have the money, you have people that are flying to each other, and that stuff happens. It's not that you can't do it, because Facebook, Messenger, Skype, even the gaming consoles, even FaceTiming, you can sit up here and plan trips. It can be done. We just got to take the time. We got to be willing to do it. So let me make a few plugs here. We got the Albany MS walk here. I don't know if Miss Regina is still on. Let me go and put the website in. Let me make sure I got the right website before you guys sit and say, man, we went to the website and it wasn't there. I don't want nobody telling me about myself. It is MS Walk Albany GA.com. All right. This is what I would like for you guys to do, right? Some of you guys have noticed that I've said this a couple of times, but the walk is on April 14th. And if you go to the website and you register, it's you'll see the date. But okay, you guys might be like, well, heck, we ain't in Albany, Georgia. That is true, but that doesn't mean that you can't walk for us. You can walk for us. And yeah, you can use the iPad. Yeah, you can use the iPad. So we would love for you guys to show pictures and show clips of, hey, we walked around our sofa, our chair, our yard on April 14th. It starts for us Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna say 8:30, 12:30, in between that time slot. And so you can either walk around at a time, you can walk later on that day. It doesn't matter. Just the fact that you wanted to walk with us on that day, we would totally appreciate it. And I'm gonna work with Miss Regina, which is Miss Annette Robinson's niece, that's bringing the Albany MS Walk back here, and we tend on keeping it. It was her ideal, because the society decided to take it away from us because there are no sponsors, paid sponsors. They're doing this all themselves. So awesome. PTSD is a real thing. You don't have to be a soldier to be suffering from this. I got diagnosed with that year before last. So, Paul, I definitely understand where you're coming from. LCSW, I have the slightest idea what that is, Paul. Something I wish I had done sooner. Seeing this, you have to tell me what SC. But anyway, so the walk, April 14th, 8:30 to 12:30. Just, you know what? The walk, April 14th. I might have said 13th. April 14th. All day. We're taking you guys walking, showing pictures, showing videos, and we're going to make a hashtag so that you guys can hashtag the Albany MS walk. Okay? So anybody that participate, hey, like I said, you don't have to be here in Albany. You can still, if you're wanting to do the walk in your city for us, in your home for us, heck, if you got a motorized chair, ride around in the house. If you want to, back and forth down the hallway, just go to the website and register, giving us even the state that you're in. And so, hey, love to see that happen. And like I was saying about going to the ICanBeatMS MS partner, joining. And if you don't have a partner and you're wanting to have a partner, looking to getting a partner, or if you're wanting to be a partner with somebody, join. And basically do that post. This one reason why I got this green screen back here, because I'm finna actually make a video about that where I'm finna post that. So we got to start making the connection, guys. We oh, well, I am going to be walking on the 14th, and I am going to have it live. So it might not be all together because that'll be a long show. But I'm going to do bits and that's how I know it's time to go, right? Bits and pieces here and there. So, you know, I might do 30 minutes here, 40 minutes here. Or I might just bust an hour for a brief moment and come back and do 20 minutes there and just chime in every once in a while. So, Paul, I'm going to be there. So, yeah. And you can be a guest like you were on my walk. Love to have you. And anybody, you guys, you can be a guest as well. So, what else I want to talk about? Oh, I'm trying to get some sponsors and some donations myself for the website and the hotline number, which is coming up to be I'm having to pay. I'm not sure if I'm really not getting the response that I want, but I'm not going to give up because I really feel that this is something that's needed. And sooner or later, this is going to be something that somebody's going to want to jump on and assist. If not, I'm going to do my best, guys, to provide whatever I can. So if you go to the website, ICanBeatMS.com, and it's not up, that might be one of the reasons, because I didn't have the funds at the brief moment to keep it running, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be out for long. But yeah, just keep that in your prayers. I do have a link for that as well to be shared. Is with I think is, let's see. Yeah, you're caring.com / I want to make sure it's right. ICanBeatMS. I might be wrong. Huh. suck. Trying to make sure I get this right, guys. Oh, hi. That might be the reason why it doesn't work. It's you have to do www.u. Well, thank you, Paul. Man, I totally appreciate it, dude. I really appreciate that. You don't understand how much that means. I can beat MS. All right, guys, that is the fundraiser that I got for ICanBeatMS and the other things that I'm doing, like the projects with the green screen, and even with stuff that's participating with the live. I'm trying to sit and get some let's see. Paul is stating that there are a couple of events going on here in Central Texas area. All you have to do is call and register. You don't have to be a person with MS. You can be a caretaker, friend, etc. All right, the first one is on March 29th, the Holiday Inn in Temple, Texas. This is hosted by Genetech. They will be talking about their new MS. We just actually had that here, Paul. O'Creevis. That's exactly what I am on. The 2nd and April 18th at Fudd Duckers in Killen, Texas. Let's see, MS Lifeline. This will feature a doctor talking about the focus on MRIS. I have a lot of idea what that is there, sir. But guys, let me call it a night here. I totally appreciate everything that you guys were talking about and the interaction that we had. I might start sharing it tonight in the groups. It just really depends on how I feel when I get off. But yeah, let's go do this thing, guys. And come on, connect. We gotta make that 6 degrees even more greater than what it is. All right. And again, I appreciate you guys stopping by. And for those that heard the first part of the show, the music just might not play. And heck, this might not even let me post it because I had the music and Facebook had the nerve to sit up here and realize that something was playing and that it might be, I think it's because it was a popular song. But it waited to the end of it and want to sit up here and tell me that, oh, hey, by the way, you're playing a song that just might be copyrighted. Well. Jadim, everybody, you guys have a great night.